So we got Hot and Uncensored, episode 1, Nick and Sweets. Introduce yourself, Sweets.
I'm Logan Sweets.
That is Logan Sweets.
The one and only.
So this is episode 1. We had thought about doing this for a while. Didn't really know how to. Got this app. Sounded pretty good. Got some nice music. Kind of flows.
Nice little setup here in Sweet's dorm room.
Yeah. So I guess first thing I want to talk about is Cavs Celtics. Last night we had Cavs 102, Celtics 99. One of the big things I saw was Derrick Rose played really good.
Derrick Rose did play pretty good. I think that was one of the biggest questions in the offseason is how he's going to come back from yet another injury.
Yeah, bad thing though, that Gordon Hayward is bad.
That is bad. Gordon Hayward's injury was pretty gruesome to watch. Before we get into that, a couple things I want to talk about. LeBron used triple-double in his NBA debut.
For like the thousandth time. I can't say thousandth.
He nears a triple-double for the 1,000th time.
The thousandth time he's near a triple-double.
Also, Kyrie he had a double-double in his return to Cleveland, so a lot of questions are answered for him playing on a new team, how he's going to perform, but he did pretty well. LeBron, on his career, averages 29 points against the Celtics. That's the second highest ever against a single team. The only person that's had him is Michael Jordan with 31.
The third best player of all time, Michael Jordan.
Yes, behind Kobe Bryant and the Brian Scalabrine. So, that was one of my biggest takeaways from the Cavs Celtics game. I didn't watch it much. I know you watched it more than I did.
I saw Jason Tatum play really good, the rookie.
He also had a double-double in that game. First Celtics rookie to have a double-double in his debut since Larry Bird. So he's got some pretty prestigious company with him there.
Father time, Dwayne Wade gets the start. 8 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. Is not good. but it is Dwayne Wade.
It also could be a lot worse.
Father time is undefeated.
Father time remains undefeated and will always remain undefeated.
But I do want to talk about Gordon Hayward. Which was gross.
Gordon Hayward's injury was pretty gruesome.
I kind of saw him as like a sacrificial lamb. Like if he didn't go down, like all hell would have broken loose and like the great war of the Cavs and the Celtics would have started, and like he had to go down for them to be friends.
Okay, I see I didn't know where you were going with that, but then you kind of brought it full circle, and now I get what you're saying. They said he's a fractured left ankle. He caught a lob from Kyrie Irving on an alley-oop. He came down pretty hard.
He didn't really catch it though.
Didn't really catch it. He kind of tried to one-hand it, didn't work out so well. It came down pretty hard. You could hear the snap as soon as he hits the ground. Kind of makes your skin crawl. Kind of makes you want to neck yourself a little, but it was pretty gruesome. Immediately carted off by medical personnel. Yeah, it was pretty bad. LeBron came over and gave him a little kiss on the cheeks or something. I don't know. I didn't really see what happened.
I saw a lot of early season Kevin Love.
I did. I saw LeBron hit him for that 3-pointer to put him ahead.
See, these are early season Kevin Love stats here. 15 points, 0 assists, 11 rebounds. So you get to the playoffs, you subtract those points by like 10, and subtract the rebounds by like 11.
And then you got a nice solid 5-0-0 stat line.
That's a Kevin Love playoff line. It's a 5-0-0, maybe one block. But those are typical like Caucasian white guy stats too.
On a good day, less than 3 turnovers in the postseason for Kevin Love. Average probably 4 or 5.
Like we said, LeBron was LeBron.
LeBron did Bron things.
His thousandth.
His thousandth.
I can't say it. Thousandth triple double of his career. He has a 1,000th triple double.
Well, he didn't actually. He had 9 assists, so he was one away. But it was pretty much a triple double.
We'll call it. It's LeBron James, so they automatically give him that extra assist.
LeBron James only needs 9 points to get a triple double, or 9 assists.
I thought Kyrie looked okay.
Okay, he definitely didn't look bad.
You could tell he was nervous coming back to Cleveland for the first time.
I mean, understandably. I thought he played well. Again, I was more watching the Dodgers Cubs game, which really wasn't worth my time because they kind of shit on him.
We'll get to that later though.
But
I mean, if you Kyrie Irving wasn't even the leading scorer for the Celtics. It was Jaylen Brown with 25. He had 25, 0, 6, and 2 steals, which was kind of unexpected.
That is pretty unexpected. The Celtics only returned 4 or few players in the season, and that's the first team to ever do that after winning their conference, or leading their conference in wins, that is. So that's pretty crazy stat considering they traded away all these people.
So I think it's fair to say Gordon Hayward's probably out for the year.
Probably, if not out for the year, then pretty damn close. They might have him back for the playoffs, probably not. But we'll see how that.
We'll see if they make the playoffs. 0-1.
Best wishes to him. I think they'll make.
0-1. They're last in the East. I don't know if playoffs are even a thing right now for the Celtics.
There's no way they don't finish top 8.
Last in the East is not a way to start.
I mean, they're probably not gonna get the 2 seeds. Definitely gonna go Cavs, Pistons, Hawks.
I think
Wizards.
Okay, so this is a hot take on the Cavs and the Eastern Conference standings. I got 76ers 1 because everyone trusts the process. Joel Embiid might be the greatest basketball player that this world's ever seen. The Milwaukee Bucks
that's
definitely.
a cold take. Everyone knows that.
Milwaukee Bucks are definitely number 2. I kind of want to throw the Hornets at number 3.
Pistons
because Frank the Tank Kaminsky is definitely a close second to Joel Embiid for best player in the world.
He's unguardable.
He is unguardable. And then down at the bottom of the pack, probably 8th seed, we have the Cleveland Cavs.
Yeah, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Celtics probably just barely going to slip to that 9 spot.
Yeah.
They're just not going to make it this year just because of the sheer competition in the clearly dominant Eastern Conference this year.
Clearly dominant. Definitely a weak Warriors team on the other side, 0-1 last in the West.
Warriors team.
Warriors are the worst team in the West right now.
Warriors are the worst team in the league right now.
They are the worst team in the league right now.
Player of the game for the Cavs Celtics game for me is LeBron James. I don't know who else it could be. Maybe.
Player of the game for Cavs Celtics to me goes to Tyronn Lue.
Tyronn Lue's a good choice.
Tyronn Lue gets player of the game for me for the Cavs and Celtics game.
He had a good stat line.
He had a great stat line. He had one Derrick Rose start with 0 injuries.
That's true. That's hard to do these days.
He had one rivalry win. I can't say words. I can't fucking say anything right now.
Rivalry?
They had one rivalry win against Kyrie Irving. And
Kyrie
thousandth. His 1000th triple double.
His thousandth triple double against Kyrie Irving.
I can't say it. So Iman Shumpert looked pretty good too.
See,
I'm not talking about not a stat. Like he cut his hair. The hair looks a lot better.
See, I don't know if you know this about me, Nick, but I'm one of the biggest Iman Shumpert haters of all time. I think Iman Shumpert.
That's where I disagree with you. I love Iman Shumpert. I think Iman Shumpert's incredible.
I think Iman Shumpert is complete ass. I think he's a waste of a roster spot. I think you could put 2 Derrick Roses on there.
See, the thing is, I
think you could put 2013 injured Derrick Rose and he would do better.
I don't think so. I think the only people better in this world in basketball than Iman Shumpert are
Frank Kaminsky,
Joel Embiid, and Wesley Snipes. And Wesley Snipes are definitely the 3 best people at basketball in the world right now. Let's talk about Warriors and Rockets. We have Rockets 122, Warriors 121. I want to start with Swaggy P is incredible. That's one guy we haven't talked about yet.
Well, I mean, Swaggy P.
Was Swaggy P the best player on the court that night?
Swaggy P actually got my player of the game for this game.
Okay.
I'll talk a little more about him in a minute, but my biggest takeaway from that game was Chris Paul. Not the greatest of stat lines. Now,
definitely not the greatest of stat lines.
He did have 10 assists, which is what you'd expect from Chris Paul, but only 4 points, 2 for 9 shooting. That is not good. That is not Chris Paul numbers. Luckily, James Harden and the rest of his team bailed him out. But, I mean, I think that shows promise for the Rockets, considering that they can get him going. They're going to be a contender. I mean, they were playing the worst team in the West, so
they were playing the worst team in the West, who was last in the Western Conference right now.
That's not a big take, but you know. We'll see what happens there.
I have one big thing to say here, and it's fuck you, Kevin Durant. That's the main takeaway I had from that.
Yeah, I mean, I can get behind a fuck you to Kevin Durant.
See, but I'm one of those guys that I saw his bad stat line. The dude only finished with 27 and 5. Like, those aren't Kevin Durant numbers.
No.
And then seeing just the heartbreak of his shot not getting off the fingertips in time, just fuck you, Kevin Durant. I hope you hear this. Fuck you.
An average NBA player probably would have gotten that shot off in time.
Yeah, the best NBA player, Joel Embiid would have gotten that shot off.
Joel Embiid. Well, if Joel Embiid was playing, they would have been put in that situation in the first place.
Frank Kaminsky hits that buzzer beater every time.
For sure. Tyronn Lue hits that shot, does not get stepped over.
No, why did they not go to Swaggy P for the last shot?
I don't know. He was lights out. 8 for 9 shooting, 6 3-pointers.
Best player on the court.
Best player on the court that night for sure.
Definitely low assist numbers with 0.
Yes, but that's his role though.
That is his role.
I mean,
they didn't bring him in to pass.
He came on and he did exactly what they wanted to do. He caught out to a hot start, 4 threes in a row, 5 shots in a row. He is a beast.
So they were up by 17 until Draymond got hurt.
Yeah.
That's another fuck you, Draymond Green. Fuck you.
Yeah, I can get behind the fuck you, Draymond Green. Not as much as Kevin Durant though.
No.
Simply because he went to Michigan State.
Yeah.
He had a near triple double before he exited. He had a left knee strain. Andre Iguodala is also out, so that's just less depth for an already low talent team.
Yeah, very low talent team.
It's unclear how severe it is, but he's probably going to be back within the week.
So I just want to take from you real quick. Better player, Clint Capella, Kevin Durant.
You know, that's a tough one. I'm going to have to go Clint Capella.
I'd have to go Clint Capella as well. I agree with you on that one.
He had a solid stat line, 12 points, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, that's good numbers.
Those are big time numbers.
Those are very big time numbers.
If you have a player like that,
those are all-star starter numbers, honestly.
Those are all-star numbers, probably second team All-NBA numbers.
Yeah. So Clint Capella, better player than Kevin Durant. That's a hot take from Sweets. PJ Tucker, 20 points. That's not bad. 20 points, 6 rebounds. That was the third leading scorer on the Rockets. Eric Gordon comes off the bench and drops 24. He gets 6th man of the year already. They've given it to him. The 1 assist and 1 rebound, no one worries about that. If you come off the bench, you can drop 24. Lights out from 3. Eric Gordon, definitely top 6 player in the NBA right now is Eric Gordon.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree. Another thing with that game, the Warriors had their ring ceremony before the game last night. Mm-hmm. They gave out rings.
And they actually honorarily gave LeBron James a ring.
Because why wouldn't they?
It's like every finals, no matter win or lose, like LeBron James has a ring. Because he only has 3.
He only has 3.
He only has 3, but he somehow has 6.
So
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't make sense. Here's an interesting story. I heard they gave Zaza Pachulia his ring, and he recently.
That's a deservable ring.
It's a deservable ring, but like he recently his wife gave birth to his daughter, who's 5 weeks old. So there's a cute little picture of him giving his daughter a ring, or whatever. But I have a little bit of a problem with that because Zaza Pachulia's biggest contribution to the Warriors last season was getting Kawhi injured. So.
See, that's where I think being definitely top 5 sexiest guys in the NBA, I think that's his biggest contribution to the Warriors, is being the sex appeal of the team.
Right, but that's true. As an overall team, his sex appeal is the biggest thing.
It is.
But for their playoff run, the biggest thing he did was get Kawhi Leonard injured.
You're right.
If Kawhi Leonard's in that game, doesn't get injured, they sweep him easily.
Yeah, they do sweep the.
Probably plus 20 points differential for the Spurs.
Yeah. Patty Mills. Wow. How do we leave him out of our top 5? Patty Mills, if you're listening, you deserve the number 1 spot.
We also named our fish after you.
Yeah, we have a fish.
Patty Gills.
Special guest, probably next episode will be Patty Gills, our fish. Great guy. Really stinks up the room.
I'm sure you don't stink up the room.
You don't stink up the room. In fact, you unstink up the room. You're a beautiful.
You come in and
you're a beautiful chocolate man. What is he? Australian?
He is Australian. He comes in, just smells like a fresh can of Febreze.
Like a fresh kangaroo's ass is what our fish smells like.
And you smell more like a wallaby. A good smelling wallaby.
Like the shoe?
Yes.
You smell like a shoe.
You know that new shoe smell?
But a good shoe.
You know that new shoe smell? He's got that new shoe smell. He's got that new car smell too.
Honestly, like I'm not a big fan of the new car smell.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Or the new shoe smell.
Actually, no.
I'm more of a fan of like the old sweaty shoe smell.
You know what's
because I know that 1,000 miles have been walked in those shoes, and I know there's been a struggle in those shoes. That's why I'm a bigger fan of the sweat and the stench.
Did you know? Okay, you know what's better than the new shoe smell and the new car smell though is the new book smell. The new book smell is good, very underrated.
See, I read my electronic books, so a new book smell to me is smelling my iPhone where my mouth's been all over it.
See, but just take away from that book. Well, get in there, get in there.
See, to me
it's a good smell. It's a good smell.
To me, that smells like cardboard almost.
Cardboard doesn't smell bad particularly.
It doesn't. Does it smell at all?
No, which is a good. The good thing about a book is it'll never stink, unless you make it stink.
That's true. That is true. So, I don't know if y'all saw the highlights of the Warriors-Rockets game. James Harden easily could be a slot receiver in the NFL. That's my takeaway from that game.
Top 5 receivers.
Top 5 receivers in the NFL would definitely James Harden would be number 4.
Definitely be Antonio Brown, Julio Jones.
Yeah,
probably
you're already off though. Okay, this is my top 5 receivers in the NFL. You have Mohamed Sanu at number 1. You definitely have Dante Moncrief at number 2.
T.Y. Hilton?
No, Tyler Lockett number 3.
Golden Tate?
Yeah. No.
No. Kenny Galladay.
This is what I'm thinking though. Kenny Galladay could be up there. I think Chris Hogan, standard Caucasian receiver,
I like
is definitely top 5.
Number 6 receiver probably Tom Brady.
And then James Harden. James Harden fits in number 7 in our top 5.
I do have to say, James Harden's beard last night did not look as good as I hoped it would be. I think he forgot to brush it, maybe.
I think that that's the look he's going for though. It's like the grudgy, untamed look.
Like the Grizzly Adams kind of look.
The Grizzly Adams, but black and good at basketball.
Okay.
And that's
not quite the outdoorsman though.
No, he could be.
He might be. I doubt it though. I have to say I don't think that he would be the one to.
Okay. Give me a hot take here. Does James Harden last 3 days in the wild by himself?
3 days.
3 days.
Any supplies with him?
He has a basketball, a low-grade taser, and a phone charger.
But does he have a phone?
No.
Is he wearing shoes? Is he wearing shoes?
He's wearing. He's actually wearing Wallabies. That's all he's. Okay. So all he's wearing is a hoodie, a Hawaiian skirt, and Wallabies. And all he can bring with him is a phone charger, no phone, low-grade taser, and a basketball.
So
3 days in the wild.
So after the 3rd day, does he get rescued by a helicopter or something?
Chris Paul actually flies the helicopter to the Amazon and picks up James Harden.
I'm going to say he does not survive.
See, I'm gonna say he does though.
Simply because he probably doesn't know where the fuck he is, or what the fuck he's doing.
See, no one knows James Harden's background like I do. James Harden's actually the son of the Amazon king, and was raised in the wilderness, and that's why he's so scraggly and his teeth look so weird. He's honestly a born outdoorsman, who has a hobby for basketball.
I can get behind that. I just don't see him. I see him getting by the first day.
I think
he definitely survived.
I think the biggest help he gets is the phone charger, no phone.
For sure. Because the phone would just be holding them back.
The phone is extra weight, wastes electricity in the phone charger.
Right.
Phone charger could be used as a whip.
Could be used.
If you've ever been whipped by a phone charger, you know that's top 5 worst pains you've ever felt in your life.
If it's one of those phone chargers where the cube is attached to the cord,
mm-hmm.
he could use it as some kind of bludgeoning weapon. Just throws it at you and it just cracks your skull.
And then maybe he comes across a tribe and he has the basketball and shows them maybe basketball tricks, and if not, low-grade taser.
If they like the basketball tricks, they take him into his clan and I shouldn't say clan, into their
clan. Clan's a bad word to use there.
Clan was a bad choice of words. Into their tribe.
Hot and Uncensored does not support any racist activities or words such as clan, posse, or
Samantha Ponder.
We do not support those.
So
that's my hot take, is that James Harden does last 3 days due to the fact that phone charger, no phone saves his life somehow.
I can get behind that. I just don't see him making all 3 days. I see 2, not 3 though.
Okay, so I guess we'll go Yankees Astros now. So
my biggest takeaway from this game is obviously the Astros. While their starting pitching wasn't bad, Lance McCullers Jr. pitched good.
Only gives up 2 hits.
He did only give up 2 hits, so he had a good outing. But the biggest thing was that the heart of their lineup got going.
This fucking Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge, Didi Gregorius, and Gary Sanchez all got hits on the board.
See, this is the thing.
When they bat well, then the Yankees win.
I have a huge bone to pick with Aaron Judge. Fuck you, Aaron Judge. You hit a double. Okay.
He hit a home run.
All you do is hit doubles, strike out, and hit home runs. I want you to fucking stop. Fucking stop hitting home runs. Huge bone to pick. If I ever see Aaron Judge, this is okay. Hot take. If I ever see Aaron Judge in the streets,
it's on.
9 times out of 10.
It's on site.
9 times out of 10, I'm actually murdering Aaron Judge.
On site?
10th time they've already been eliminated from the postseason. I feel bad.
Is it on site?
It's on site. And cause of death is phone charger, no phone. That's actually cause of death.
That's
phone charger, no phone.
The reason the Astros lost this game was their bullpen kind of blew it for them. Joe Musgrove gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs. Ken Giles, what a terrible game for him. 3 hits, 2 earned runs. He earned a blown save and a loss. He did get put in with 2 runners on base, so it's not entirely his fault, but he didn't do anything to help his case.
I don't know what it is about the Yankees. Does God live at Yankee Stadium?
No,
is that a hot take? Does God actually is that where he lives?
See, here's the thing with Yankee Stadium. Their left and right field are so short. It's like the modern day Polo Grounds.
Yeah.
It's like their baseball stadium, Yankee Stadium, is a slut for home runs.
It's
outfield.
It's a gaping hole.
Its outfield opens up like the legs of a virgin hooker.
Yeah.
And it just asks you to put balls all the way into it.
And Aaron Judge does it every time, because Aaron Judge is an actual piece of shit.
And then they ask, well, why don't people who visit do this? Well, because Aaron Judge is 6'8" and is bigger than Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't hit a home run, I don't know what else.
Aaron Judge, top 5 tight ends in the NFL?
Yes.
Is he better than Zach Ertz though?
No. Not better than Eric Ebron either.
No.
Okay. Better than Gronk, better than Kelsey.
Okay, better. Okay. So you throw Urban Meyer into football pads.
Uh-huh.
And you give him 4 downs. Does he put up a better stat line than Aaron Judge does?
At what position?
At tight end. I think, hot take, Urban Meyer, 4 downs, at least 3 receptions.
I think he gets 2 receptions.
It depends on who's throwing to him. Aaron Judge has Max Scherzer throwing a football to him, and Urban Meyer has JT Barrett. Has high school JT Barrett in 1987. High school JT Barrett throwing to him.
JT Barrett was not alive in 1987?
So I truly believe JT Barrett has been in Ohio State since 1996. Was his freshman year at Ohio State.
Fair enough, but not 1987. In 1987, he would have to have Tyron Lue throwing to him.
Okay.
So in that game, Aaron Judge struck out, and in related news, the sky is blue. So that's interesting.
Sky is blue.
4 relievers pitched 54 pitches for the Astros. That's not very good. As soon as they put a reliever in, they just fucking threw balls right down the dick, and then they got pulled right back out.
Just horrible 8th inning for the Astros.
Player of the game for me, I know we've been shitting on him kind of, but Aaron Judge, he did kind of get the Yankees back into that game.
Player of the game for me is the fan interference that they didn't call. That's player of the game to me.
That is fair. That is very fair. Yankees Astros game was interesting, better than the Dodgers Cubs game. That game was a shit show. I really thought the Astros were going to go up 3-1. Now they're tied 2-2. But the good news for the Astros is they have Keuchel and Verlander in the next 2 games. So.
But see, on the flip side of that, the bad news is they do have to take another trip back to Yankee Stadium.
They do.
Where God does in fact, proven fact, took the time to look it up. God does in fact live at Yankee Stadium.
The thing is though, they're not gonna. There's not a chance they win 2 in Houston, especially since one of them is against Justin Verlander, whose ERA is almost under 1. He threw 13 strikeouts in a game. He has the record for most 10 strikeout games in the MLB in the postseason. With 7. No other player has more than 5. Yeah, I mean the Yankees might come back, but I don't see it happening. Mainly because I don't want them to. So that's it. That's it for me on that game. Do you have anything else to say?
I mean the game upsets me because Houston goes up, huge lead, and then they get so fucking close. And see, now I've got a huge bone to pick with Houston because I know you're doing this on purpose. I know you're trying to extend the series just so everyone else can watch and have a good time. No one's having a fucking good time watching the Yankees win. I promise.
See, I don't think it's Houston that's extending the series. I think it's the MLB. I think
so is that a hot take? Is the MLB rigged?
The MLB is in fact rigged.
Is it?
I think
I think Roger Goodell owns Major League Baseball.
I think
that's a hot take for me.
I can get behind that. I think that the MLB is trying to extend the series because they're trying to ride the whole Aaron Judge hype train.
Yeah.
He kind of robbed a home run that game, but I mean he's 6'8", so he didn't even really have to jump. Considering Yankee Stadium's right field is only 3 feet high.
Yeah.
So I mean I don't know. I think the commissioner of baseball is trying to drag this out to make more money because the Yankees are a huge market and they want to see him play the Dodgers, which is the other biggest market in the MLB. So I don't know if they do that though. The Dodgers will fuck them in the ass apparently.
Yeah, they definitely.
We have that to look forward to at the least. So.
At the least. Dodgers Cubs. Dodgers win that one 6-1. Yu Darvish, just a fucking terrific game. That dude's lights out. He goes 6 innings pitched, only 6 hits, 1 run, throws 7 strikeouts. That's compared to Kyle Hendricks, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, which were 2 of I can't talk.
2
which 2 of those hits
were home runs.
Okay, fuck me. Two
of which were home runs.
With 2 of which were 2 home runs, 5 strikeouts.
2 of which sandwich shop were home runs.
2 of I can't say anything.
Yu Darvish gave up 6 hits in 1 run.
The Cubs pitcher Kyle Hendricks pitched 5 innings. He gave up 6 hits with 4 home runs and 4 runs and 2 home runs. I'm gonna kill. Oh my god. 2 home runs and 4 hits is what I was looking for.
You're looking for 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 of which being home runs.
Yes, 5 strikeouts.
5 strikeouts. The only reason the Cubs scored a run is because Kyle Schwarber hit a little Oppo taco.
Yeah.
I do like Oppo tacos. I have a soft spot for them. Better than Oppo burritos, but not as good as Oppo quesadillas.
No.
So.
2 home runs from the Dodgers were coming from Chris Taylor and Andre Ethier.
Ooh, I think it's Ethier.
If someone could give us a pronunciation check on Andre Ethier, Andre, are we even saying Andre right? Andre.
I think I just checked.
Andre Ethier.
I think it's pronounced Andre Ethernet cable. So that's how you pronounce
Andre Ethnis Ether. Andre Ether hit a home run.
Andre Ethnicity hit a home run.
See, this show's all about diversity.
Chris Taylor also hit a home run. He's playing shortstop for Corey Seager. Corey Seager's a beast, but they're still winning without him, which proves how deep the Dodgers are. And Chris Taylor's the one who had the clutch home run in Game 2.
Yeah.
Game 1, I don't remember. I don't know. I must have been jerking off or something. When Corey Seager comes back, they're going to get better. I don't know when he's coming back. I haven't looked into it enough.
No.
Kenley Jansen comes in the 9th. He pitches lights out. 12 pitches, 8 of them strikes. 2 of them strikeouts. It just proves how good the Dodgers bullpen is. A lot better than the Cubs. I mean, the Cubs have a good bullpen, but the Cubs starting pitching is their problem, and it has been all year. Best closer in the league for sure. Player of the game for me is Chris Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dodgers just kind of shit on them. They're up 3-0, and I don't see the Cubs reverse sweeping.
Yeah,
because at the very least, they're not going to steal 2 in LA.
No.
So.
No. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this whole Sam Ponder Barstool Sports thing. She went to Twitter and started calling them out about some sexist, words.
All right.
Sexist.
Let me read the article. So, the ESPN Sunday NFL Countdown host Samantha Ponder doesn't appear happy that the network is giving platform to Barstool Sports because apparently they're sexist or something. Samantha Ponder,
Which, that's the thing, okay. That's the thing I can get behind, though. I just think it's funny to hear a girl talking about sexist social media accounts.
Yeah, that's cool. Samantha Ponder tweets, "Welcome to the ESPN family at Barstool Big Cat, and welcome to all your minions who will respond to this so kindly." Monday afternoon, she tweeted that, but her tweet was presumably sarcastic because she attached screen grabs of an old Barstool post.
Which is total bullshit. That's not.
You can't prove or deny what happened.
This is petty beyond belief.
That's true. She is being pretty petty. She's being pretty Bryce Petty right now.
She's being very Richard Petty. She's being very Richard Petty right now.
Rest in peace to the Baylor sports program, by the way. Art Briles fired.
It was very fun. It was really fun, Baylor.
They don't have when Michigan State came back and they destroyed their kicker. It was all downhill from there, which is actually pretty true when you think about it.
That's a
cold take.
That's a cold take. That's a cold take to me.
Yeah, that's a cold take. Her tweet was presumably sarcastic because she apparently proved that there were some sexist tweets or whatever. What did she say? She says, she said that an editor for Barstool Sports referred to her as, what does it say? I stapled over it. A Bible-thumping freak. The 2014 post was headlined, "Sam Ponder is in her ivory tower looking down at all the blogs who decided to disagree with Ray Rice KOing his wife."
Which,
it was good. It was a good punch.
It was a very solid. Okay. Give me a hot take here. Ray Rice, Floyd Mayweather.
Is it in an elevator?
Elevator in Las Vegas.
Ooh. If they keep the elevator in the elevator shaft, I'm gonna give it to Ray Rice. But if they take the elevator out and put it somewhere, then I'm gonna give it to Floyd Mayweather. By the way, I don't condone domestic violence at all.
Yeah, this Hot and Uncensored does not condone domestic violence.
We only condone
unless you need to, unless just one good hit.
Yeah. Anyway, Sam Ponder tweets, "I was wrong in thinking Barstool Big Cat wrote that article and called me a slut repeatedly. He just continuously laughed. It was the president of Barstool Sports who said these things. Happy to clarify." So she takes back her calling out of Barstool Big Cat and instead goes at Dave Portnoy, who is the president of Barstool Sports. Barstool Sports blog entry proclaimed that Samantha Ponder's number one priority is to make men hard, and her entire career and livelihood is based on appealing to guys. She seemed to think that Katz wrote the post, but ESPN's newest host denied he wrote it and eventually responded, "I honestly think you have me confused for my boss, Dave." His boss, Dave, is founder of Barstool Sports and president Dave Portnoy, who's one of ESPN's newest members. They have the new show, Barstool Band Talk, which premiered last night at 1 a.m. Nice little time slot there. Blah, 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 blah. Ponder, the wife of NFL quarterback Christian Ponder, replaced ESPN legend Chris Berman as the anchor of the NFL studio show this season. Mm-hmm. Don't know how I feel about that. Chris Berman is a legend.
I don't think Boom is replaceable.
Boomer is the GOAT. Samantha Ponder is not, in fact, the GOAT.
Hot take. Does Barstool Van Talk last longer than Christian Ponder's career?
The Christian Ponder's career is already over, I think.
It is already over.
I'm going to say it does last.
So have they already won the battle?
I believe that they have won the battle.
So speaking of Boomer, just because he's on my head right now, I want to talk about NFL Week 6. There were some pretty good games, pretty surprising games. One of the main surprising games to me was the Chiefs losing.
The
Chiefs did in fact lose.
Before we talk about the NFL, I just want to talk a little bit more about this thing about Samantha Ponder, because the article's almost over. It goes on to say that SportsCenter anchor, they talk about Jameel Hill getting suspended, all that bullshit. Barstool Big Cat tweeted, "That feeling when haters and losers, of which there are many, try to get your show canceled the day before they premiere, but you're too busy pounding donuts," and it's a picture of him pounding donuts. He kind of took a stab at Samantha Ponder, which is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
"I know for a fact that every day at ESPN, all the suits and all the lawyers there have their daily 9:15 coffee meeting on how we can fire Sam Ponder without getting sued for discrimination," says Dave Portnoy. "She's the worst. No one who watches Game Day wants to see a picture of her and her ugly kid. Nobody cares, Sam Ponder. We want to see
Which, that's a very cold take. That's a very cold take. Her kid is, in fact, ugly as hell.
She is very hot, though.
Yeah.
I have to give that to her. In a respectable way, though.
Okay. Who wins in a wet t-shirt contest? Doris Burke, Sam Ponder.
You gotta be Doris Burke.
I think it's also Doris. I think it's also
Doris. Way too dominant.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says, "We want to see you sex it up and be slutty and not some prude fucking jerk who everybody hates. You're a fucking slut," says Dave Portnoy. "Show me one person that likes Samantha Ponder. I don't even think Christian Ponder likes Samantha Ponder. Everyone hates her, but no one will say it out loud," says Barstool Big Cat. Meanwhile, Katz has accused Ponder of trying to get his show canceled, and Barstool editor-in-chief Keith Markovich has since sued Ponder for libel. ESPN has declined Fox News' request for further comments. Anything you have to say about the Samantha Ponder scandal?
I blame Christian Ponder.
I do blame Christian Ponder. He brought her into the spotlight.
He gave her a platform. He threw at least 2 interceptions a game.
He did.
And pissed off all of Minnesota.
He did piss off the entire state of Minnesota.
The entire state of Minnesota, cold take, does in fact hate Christian Ponder.
That's very true.
NFL Week 6.
NFL Week 6. I won all of my fantasy games this week, which is a major upside. So I have to say it was a good week for me. Unfortunately, the Lions did lose in the highest scoring game of the season. 90 points scored between two teams, which is kind of retarded. I wish there was defense played in the NFL these days, but there's not. So, which is cool because it helps out fantasy owners. I don't know really what to take away. Leonard Fournette's a beast again.
I'm very surprised. Surprised or surprised?
It's surprised, but everyone just says
I'm very
surprised
at the Chiefs' loss to the Steelers at home. Alex Smith was putting up MVP numbers.
And then he just wasn't all of a sudden.
And then Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill go away.
That's true.
They disappear.
I'm surprised that they lost at home. If they went to Pittsburgh, I wouldn't be as surprised, because Pittsburgh is a good ball club. They have the leading receiver in the league and the leading. Is he the lead? Is Le'Veon Bell leading the league in rushing yards?
Yes.
If he's not, he's top 3.
He is top 3.
So
they also have the leading quarterback in rape accusations.
They do. That is in fact true. Although Jameis Winston is up there.
Jameis Winston is top 3.
Top 3.
Brett Favre.
Brett
Favre is top 3.
I can't really think of anybody else off the top of my head.
Speaking of Jameis Winston, he goes down with a shoulder injury. One of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen in our lifetime. Ryan Fitzpatrick comes into the game to replace him. Harvard grad.
Good guy. He plays with emotion. Doesn't play with a lot of talent, but he plays with emotion. Which is all you can ask for these days.
Is Ryan Fitzpatrick the answer that the Bucs have needed for a Super Bowl push?
I think so. I think the problem with the Bucs is that they've been just bad, and then when Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in, they're good. So I think that's going to be their biggest factor towards pushing for an NFL title.
I think it's time for a little hot seat, cool throne.
I think it is. So do you want to go my hot seat, your hot seat, my cool throne, your cool throne?
Yeah, we can do it like that.
Or do you want to do hot seat,
just
cool
just
throne,
start with
hot
your
seat?
hot seat, cool throne, and I'll chime in with a hot seat, cool throne.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. My hot seat. Butch fucking Jones. Butch Jones is not a good coach.
Mm-mm.
No, he has done
not even close.
He's done a terrible job at Tennessee this year. He's lost at least two games that he should have won. He's 3-3 right now. They're 0-3 in the SEC. That's not going to cut it. The word on the street is they're probably not going to fire him before the Alabama game because they know he's going to lose. So they're just going to ride that game out. But if he loses to Kentucky the week after, he's going to be gone. I don't see him making it to the end of the season, even if they do beat Kentucky, because they're definitely going to lose a couple more games. Tennessee is 112th nationally in the red zone, which is just, but it's ass between my it's hairs between my ass cheeks.
It is ass between Sweet's butt cheeks.
It is ass between my hair cheeks. So they've also gone 10 consecutive quarters without a touchdown, which is pitiful. That's 2.5 games.
Yeah.
Which is just complete shit. So Butch Jones, you're getting fired soon. That's my hot seat. My cool throne, Leonard Fournette.
Really?
Leonard Fournette.
I like that cool throne.
He has 130 rush attempts for 596 yards, 4.6 average rush attempt, and 6 touchdowns. He has 15 receptions for 136 yards, 9 average, and 1 touchdown. I think one of the biggest questions for me was coming into the season was how the rookies were going to perform. And Leonard Fournette is one of those rookies who has not disappointed. Christian McCaffrey's having a good season, but if he keeps it up, I think he's going to be the front runner for rookie.
Dalvin Cook's injury paved the way for Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette is, I think, going to win Rookie of the Year. Mm-hmm. Is there even a Rookie of the Year award in the NFL?
Yeah.
Then yeah, it's
See, but you've got to take into account Kareem Hunt, Deshaun Watson.
You're right. I forgot about Kareem Hunt and Deshaun Watson. Take away those two, it's going to be Leonard Fournette.
Yeah. If right now Deshaun Watson and Kareem Hunt
stop
playing football, retired today, Leonard Fournette wins Rookie of the Year.
Yes. That's a cold take.
That's a cold take.
Hence the term cool throne.
Cool throne, cold take, Leonard Fournette.
Also, Leonard Fournette is a fantasy beast. So.
So my hot seat is PlayStation.
The company
of PlayStation is my hot seat. They sent out teaser trailers of a new NCAA football game. I don't know if all y'all saw that.
I did see that.
What's it gonna be? PlayStation.
We haven't heard anything yet.
We haven't heard anything yet. If you're gonna make one, make it. If you're not gonna make it, have mercy on us and stop coming out with videos. You're on my hot seat now. That's a pretty big blue ball for me. Considering the NCAA football games honestly were better than Madden. They were. And PlayStation has no right to do that to
Madden
the American
has gotten
people.
A lot better though in recent years. A few years, like Madden 13, I thought was bad, and I thought Madden 25 was literally the same thing as Madden 13. They just sold it for
Madden 25, $60. One of my favorite Maddens though.
But it was the exact same thing as Madden 13.
But at the same time, hot take, Madden 25, best Madden that's ever been made.
I'm going to highly disagree with that. I'm going to go with Madden NFL 07. Which one had Larry Fitzgerald and Troy Polamalu on the cover?
I believe that was Madden.
That was
2010.
That's my favorite Madden of all time.
So my cool throne is ESPN.
Really?
Because
interesting.
I liked what they did last night with Barstool Van Talk.
That's true.
I liked how they let them do their thing.
Right.
They censored Cox. See, on Hot and Uncensored, we do not censor Cox.
We will show.
We embrace Cox on this show.
If this was a video, you would see my cock.
We went.
Maybe not though.
Hot, actually, cold take. You wouldn't see his cock. I like what ESPN did with the show. They compared Scott Van Pelt to a penis, which I've been waiting on ESPN to do for years. They finally came out and did it. Thank you, ESPN. I applaud you.
I like Scott. Scott Van Pelt, probably my favorite ESPN
Scott
anchor.
Scott Van Pelt is my favorite ESPN anchor.
As of now.
Due to the fact that he is a trendsetter.
Yes.
Nobody was bald until Scott Van Pelt started doing it.
Yeah. Like, people that were bald before Scott Van Pelt only did it because they knew Scott Van Pelt was
because they knew that genetically, Scott Van Pelt was just going to be a bald guy.
I think you're really struggling with your words today.
So my new hot seat is vocabulary. Stop.
Pronunciation of words.
Fuck you, words. Stop.
Be simpler.
Just make it easier on us, and maybe you'll have a spot on my cool throw next week.
Maybe. Tune in next week to see if
Tune in next week. Tune in next week to see if my cool throne is actually pronunciation. Time for Mount Rushmore.
I did my hot take cool throne first, so you can go first on this one.
So we have a Mount Rushmore of game day. Fuck you, you hot seat of pronunciation. Game day traditions is the Mount Rushmore. So I guess just to specify, it's any sports game day.
Any sports tradition that's performed during game day.
Mount Rushmore game day traditions, barbecuing. High spot on my Mount Rushmore there.
Okay, go.
I feel like at most sporting events there's barbecuing.
Yeah, very true. Unless it's like curling.
The Masters barbecuing. Stanley Cup barbecuing.
Yes. Whoa, World Series barbecuing. Super Bowl for sure barbecuing. Curling, no barbecuing.
Daytona 500 barbecuing.
Yes. I don't think there's.
Beijing Olympics barbecuing.
Sydney Olympics.
But what?
No barbecuing.
No barbecuing.
Actually,
more barbecuing.
More barbecuing.
We didn't take that. We didn't think about that.
We didn't think about that.
So another spot.
London Olympics, no barbecuing.
No. Another spot on my Mount Rushmore would be throwing a football. No matter what the sporting event is, though.
Just in the yard.
Like World Series football tossing outside.
Yeah.
Is that?
That's a thing.
The Masters football tossing.
Masters football tossing. That's a thing. What else?
Beijing Olympics football tossing.
Beijing Olympics there was a lot of football.
There was
I heard
footballs.
they recovered a lot of footballs after the Olympics were over.
Another spot on my Mount Rushmore would be painting your face. No matter the sporting event. Masters,
you do paint your face.
Paint your face. You paint your face. Curling. You paint your face.
I think curling has a lot of face.
I think curling is an underrated sport.
It is.
I think people... That might be my cool throne. That might be my hot seat, is people who don't understand the sport of curling.
This is now our third hot seat for Nick.
We have 3 hot seats, cool throne and a half. Fuck you, pronunciation.
That's fair enough.
Fuck you.
So what's your fourth one?
My fourth Mount Rushmore.
You've got barbecuing, throwing the football, and painting your face.
Is being way too drunk to not make it into the sporting event.
I think that would be the biggest one.
I think that's the George Washington of this Mount Rushmore.
That's a good analogy.
Is not being able to make it into the stadium or golf course. Drunk Masters. That's a thing. Drunk Masters.
That is a huge thing.
Not being able to make it into the sporting event because you're too drunk is my George Washington of this Mount Rushmore.
I have to that George Washington analogy, top 5 analogies of all time.
Is that okay? Can next week can we do a Mount Rushmore of analogies?
We could, but I feel like we could do something better because
next week look out for a Mount Rushmore of analogies because
might be there, might not.
They might be there. We might have time for 2 Mount Rushmores next week.
We might have time for 2 Mount Rushmores. We might have Mount Thrushmore.
Wow.
8. Mount double.
Sweets.
Count
Rushmore. Sweets is my 4th hot seat. for suggesting a Mount Thrushmore. Okay, I guess go ahead with yours.
Okay, so when you say game day traditions, I took this as a little. I thought it was gonna be like team specific, like what each team does during game day, no matter what sport.
Okay.
So, first on my list is the haka.
The haka?
The haka. Now, most of you probably don't know what the haka is, but you would know it if you saw it. Now, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the sport rugby.
Of course.
And how New Zealand kicks everybody's ass in rugby.
American pastime.
The haka is the chant that the New Zealand rugby team plays before every game.
Of course.
Where the other team lines up in front of them and they just scream and yell in their face and the other team shits their pants, and once the game started, they're too scared to compete.
It's like, okay, if any of you guys have seen Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders making the team, it's the scene where all the cheerleaders are lined up, and it's the girl with the red hair is the boss.
Yeah.
The girl with the red hair tells them that their boobs aren't big enough to be on the team. That's what these rugby players do.
That is in fact what they do. So the other team, the only team that can withstand the haka is South Africa, but
it's because they don't understand what they're saying, though. That's the thing. Does anyone actually speak South African?
South Africans do.
But do they really, though? Do South Africa,
No.
You're on my hot seat.
South Africa speaks Afrikaans.
South Africa is on my hot seat because you're the reason I can't pronounce these words.
True, because you were speaking Afrikaans, and New Zealand is speaking New Zealand.
In fact, I was. Fuck you, pronunciation.
So number 2 on my list, the terrible towel, the Pittsburgh Steelers terrible towel.
That's up there. That's on my Rushmore.
Now, a lot of sports teams have some kind of towel waving in the stands, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are on here because they're the ones that started it.
Of course.
Everyone knows the terrible towel. Everybody in Heinz Field has a terrible towel when it's game day time.
I think Mike Tomlin. I think the flags that the refs throw are actually terrible towels.
I think
that's my hot take right there.
Home games for the Pittsburgh Steelers are in fact the flags are in fact.
And I think that Mike Tomlin's challenge flag is a red terrible towel.
You're right. It's a even more terrible towel.
Dude,
it's a sinister towel.
Wow.
That's deep stuff.
That is.
My third one on the list is You'll Never Walk Alone. This is a little bit more of a sad one, but it's still got a lot of history behind it. The football or the soccer club Liverpool, they're in, I think it was the 60s. There was a collapse at their stadium. It killed like 300 people, fans. And they started doing this. There's a song by Jerry and the Pacemakers that it's called "You'll Never Walk Alone," and the whole crowd or whatever, they sing along during the anthem or during the game, and it's just really touching. And it started before the actual whatever, but it has more meaning now because of the accident that happened. Last one is the Detroit Red Wings throwing the octopus on the ice. A lot of hockey teams throw shit on the ice because apparently that's the cool thing to do, but the Red Wings are the ones that started it. And the reason they do that is because the 8 legs of an octopus were how many... And back in the day, you had to win 8 games in the playoffs to win the Stanley Cup. So that's what the 8 legs symbolized. And there's a giant fucking like plush octopus that comes from the roof during playoffs called Al the octopus.
So why can they not put an actual octopus on the ice?
They do put an actual octopus on the ice.
A real
dead octopus.
Live octopus.
Because it would be like blub, blub, blub. And it would and since
Sweets has 2 hot seat spots. One for Mount Rushmore and the second one for dip dip dip.
So they could put a live one on because octopi have active camouflage, which means if they put them on the ice, then they would just turn white and you wouldn't be able to find them.
Wow. Okay, but see, that's where the NHL could really think here. That's what makes the game more interesting. Not skating around, playing hockey, not knowing where an octopus could be.
That's true. It adds another. I mean, hockey's already a dangerous sport, but it makes it even more dangerous.
Yeah, it does.
Which I can get behind. So I have 2 honorable mentions. One is Howard's Rock, which is the rock that Clemson touches before every game.
Of course.
The other one is Play Like a Champion Today, which is the sign in the tunnel of the Notre Dame football team.
Mm-hmm.
They slap it before every game day, and then they touch each other's dicks, and then they go make fake girlfriends.
So that's a Manti Te'o shot right there. I think the George Washington on that Mount Rushmore was the terrible towel.
I agree.
I think that's undefeated in game day traditions.
Yeah, that was good. I think we had some solid Mount Rushmore, solid points.
Very solid. So Uncensored episode 1.
Uncensored episode 1. Good pilot episode.
Good pilot. My biggest takeaways are fuck you Kevin Durant, fuck you Aaron Judge, and fuck you pronunciation.
Definitely fuck you pronunciation's the biggest one.
Yeah.
That was the biggest problem the whole episode.
Look out next week for possibly a fuck you Mount Rushmore.
Fuck you, Mount Rushmore too.
Um,
And also we did it. So
don't do that.
So that's it for me.
That's us.
I'm signing off. Everyone have a great day. Stay horny.
Stay horny. Peace.